Good evening, Singapore. Thank you, SIF and Ashoka, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my experience. Well, first of all, I would like to endorse Vijay's views that in India, most of the parents trust that if you are a guy, you have to acquire engineering degree. If you are a girl, then you have to acquire a medical degree. So I'm no exception. But just to add something on this, I belong to an area, a state in India, where doing business is taboo. Because majority of the people, they aspire to join government services, civil servants. That's the highest level of aspirations, and the ratio in Indian bureaucracy, Indian civil services, my own state contributes 15% of total Indian bureaucrats, the civil servants. So that they have all the reason to boast on that. But doing a social business is a social crime. A business is taboo, but a social business is almost a crime. Or if I could, boast on something, what I have achieved being a social entrepreneur, I could only say, apart from my community, which I will definitely share, that somehow I have been able to influence people, which is almost 20 times in population than Singapore. I've been able to influence them to choose entrepreneurship, and especially social entrepreneurship, as mainline career. That is what exactly social entrepreneurs does. And the way I have started, exactly, very rightly you said that I saw an opportunity at the bottom of the pyramid, a micro transport system. But before that, I must mention here that my journey has actually, my entrepreneurial journey began at the age of 13. And my father had lost his savings in a stock market crash in early 90s. And we had a bad time. So being a curious and a strong-headed kid, I took a resolution within me. I'll recover this money. And I started trading in the market, doing pretty well. In mid-90s, when telecommunications was almost, mobile phones was almost introducing in India, I used to pay 50 cents for incoming calls because I was enjoying mobile, because I was a regular trader in the market. But even after paying 50 cents, I was making money, dollars and cents. I was pretty happy doing that. But one incident which changed the whole, life. I was coming back from my college to my place in a rickshaw, cycle rickshaw, which is a micro transport medium in India. And the number of cycle rickshaws is almost double of Singapore population, which is 10 million. And each one in a rickshaw operator feeds a family of 5, so 10 times of Singapore population. They are engaged into this work. But imagine if I say that imagine a world which is 10 times than Singapore population, but they don't have access to finance. They don't have money to have 2-time meal, don't have shelter to live, don't have health facilities, no sanitation, education. How would he react? If I may ask, how would you react? May I get my answer? I'm told, and which is true, that Singapore is one of the most enterprising country. So if I could ask this question, all of you, all the audience. Well, I guess that there is an opportunity. And this is what exactly I saw. I felt that, it's a big market. 10 million people. And these 10 million carries 400 million people every day. They interact one-on-one basis because one rickshaw operator carries 40 commuters a day. Imagine there is a market, which is that we have a medium which interact one-on-one with 400 million people. Is there an opportunity? Yes, there is. We'll talk later about that opportunity. And 50 million people are engaged into this work. I mean, they're depending upon this. So yes, there is an opportunity. So, like any other entrepreneur, this idea stuck to my mind that, well, if here is an opportunity, so why not allow these people to, or equip these people, or make them capable to invest in stock markets? Yeah, I'm sure you might have feeling that I'm talking at the height of 30,000 feet. But yes, this was exactly what came in my mind, that I'm anyways dealing with the stock markets. I'm investing on behalf of my clients. So my clients who are already capable, who have got money, I'm just investing on their behalf. So what is the next level? The next level was that, can I create somebody, or can I equip somebody, or can I make somebody capable to invest in the market? So that is what exactly I'm catering with. Cycle rickshaw operators, if I could give you an idea, overview of the market, 90% of cycle rickshaw operators, I'm talking about non-motorized vehicle, which is manually pulled for short distances in India. 90% of them have got, as I mentioned, that no financial access, no basic education, no skills, nothing. They survive on barely minimum resources. So it was a big challenge, but yet it was a big opportunity. And I inquired about the whole market, and when I tried to research the whole market, I found that there are some issues. Like any corporate, when we research the market, when we make strategy or marketing or whatever strategy to launch our product, so we go deep in that. So when I researched the market, I found that there are some issues. And what are those issues? The issues was that they are migratory in nature. Most of them, they come from rural part of the country to urban part of the country to earn livelihood. So they go back again. Most of them are agri workers. So they do some harvesting work, and after post-harvesting work, they come back to urban areas to earn their livelihood. And rickshaws are the last mean for their livelihood. But I took it as an opportunity that if they go back, so we can connect those areas, and if they come in urban areas, so definitely we can have some solutions. So here is a pyramid. I call it pyramid of opportunities. First opportunity was livelihood. Decided to, in India, which I must mention, that 90% of them, they never own rickshaw. I mean, they never own vehicle. Like taxi driver, never own taxi most of the time. But in India, interestingly, and they take it on rent. I mean, from fleet owner who owns some 50, 60, 100 rickshaws. They own it from them. They take it on rent, pull it for a day. At the end of the day, they pay rentals. But that's not the end of the story. The real problem lies there. When they go back, irrespective of fact, whether they earn or they don't earn, they have to pay rent. Or if they fail to pay rent, they will have to pay interest on that. That is where exploitation starts. They go back, and since they don't have any banking access, so they go back and park their savings with the fleet owners, which never gets back. So here was an problem, but for me it was an opportunity. So I decided that let's make them owners of those rickshaws. So what we do, our intervention is very, very simple. We get them credit through banks and financial institutions in India to buy rickshaws so that they can decide their hours of working, freedom of hours. Then we ensure that these guys start earning more. That was the basic idea, that how we can make them, we can help them to earn little more so that, they will be capable enough to invest in the market or to save money or to have a better, living standard. So we decided that let us leverage mobility of rickshaw. We designed rickshaw in such a way where we can use it for advertising, communications, as you can say, product sales, delivery. So the core of the idea is these rickshaw drivers who generally goes, short distances with slow pace, slow mobility, interact with the commuters one-on-one. So we started doing this. When you take a ride in our rickshaw, you can have water, you can ask for juices, you can get recharge your mobile phone, you can have newspaper, you can read, you can enjoy music. And this all came with one small idea, that can we give them opportunity to earn a little more? Because personally, me and our organization believe that every life has an equal value, and money powers life. Unless they have better earning, they won't have access to anything. Whether it is finance, whether it is health, education, training, nothing. So our organizations help them to earn more by introducing these products. So each of the rickshaw drivers, we give them special training to sell products, to do advertising, to deal with customer in a better way. This is how it is. This is how we conduct training. I'm sure you must be wondering, then where is the social quotient? My dear friends, the social quotient is, we are glad to say that now we are a family of 500,000 rickshaw operators, 500,000, and each of them have started earning 30% up than the traditional rickshaw drivers. Because each of the rickshaw driver, he carries an identity card, he has got a bank account, we have a customer care number where you can track those rickshaw drivers, you can book rickshaw over phone. So by doing that, credibility has come. And because of the simple credibility and dignity of labor, they have started earning more. Since they are earning more, they have started saving money because they have got now banking access. Since they have got savings now, they aspire to send their kids to school. Now their kids are going to school. They are dreaming to not to join this profession, but to get into something 1 or 2 or 3 level up. We have cases where our rickshaw operators' kids are now becoming engineers and doctors. So that is the whole idea, that is the whole social quotient, that can we link them with the mainstream of the society? Can we make them capable to sit with us, and it will only happen when they are financially strong. So that is what we are doing.
Very interesting point, and I want to actually interrupt you briefly here because I want to raise one question actually. So the moment a rickshaw puller owns a rickshaw, which is a completely new world because for last several years he's been operating somebody else's rickshaw and paying off the interest, not even the principal, interest on that rickshaw actually. So how does that sudden transfer of ownership of an asset for that person translate him into an innovator? What happens as an innovator in him? And do you have any kind of example that you could give us actually?
Right. There are lots of examples, few which I could cite. The best thing which I have seen, they come with an idea on improving rickshaws, because rickshaw is in the service since decades and decades. In India, rickshaw were introduced in way back 1920, and since then there was no technological improvement in the rickshaw. Still, those rickshaws which we have, our forefathers have seen in 90s, way back 100 years back, those rickshaws are still flying. So they come to us saying that can we introduce something which can minimize the effort? I have been doing it since 20 years, and I feel that if we introduce this small device, this will help me to minimize the effort. So this is what comes from their mouths. Now they have started maintaining the rickshaws in a very unique fashion. Earlier, since they were knowing the fact that this asset is not belongs to me, I'm not the owner, so why do I need to maintain it? Now they are maintaining it. They take special care of their commuters because they know if their rickshaws have not been maintained, then commuters won't prefer them. So these are few things which is very, very interesting, which we seen after transferring the ownership of the rickshaws to the beneficiaries.
About 4 years that you have been able to build a strong community of 500,000 rickshaw pullers or rickshaw operators, and the opportunity is 10 million.
Opportunity
so you have a
10 million.
20-fold rise that you could look at in the next few years actually, which is really huge actually. And imagine if you can get 10 million people come together as one community, the impact could be far-reaching. I can completely understand. So can I get one question from the audience at this point? This is one hugely fascinating world, and no one else earlier had seen this entire rickshaw puller community as one single entity actually. Here's one example. So does this entire...
One thing which just I would quickly like to add, that I'm glad to share that now we have been acknowledged as alternative channel for product distributions.
Yep.
One or two the largest clientele we have is Lever. Now we are one of the largest alternate channel for their product distribution, like detergent powder, detergent cakes, and one of the largest tea maker, Tata Tea. We are coming up with a special product not only for community consumption but outside community consumption, because the whole idea is to leverage slow mobility of this rickshaw and the strength of presence of these rickshaw drivers, because they are spread over the city. So that is how it is spreading. And
absolutely. I mean, this 10 million rickshaw pullers can, as distributor channel, can give any management student a run for their money. Absolutely. So can I get some questions for him? Because I'm sure that you could probably have understood this entire fascinating world of rickshaw pullers and the opportunity that somebody saw, an entrepreneur saw, notwithstanding the fact that it is also a social venture.
Sure. Yeah. My name is Christian. Just let's say a question regarding. So my name is Christian. Just a quick question. When you start up a venture like this, somewhere there must be a kind of tipping point where you are able to get finance to finance those rickshaws. Because I suppose you didn't do it from your own pocket. So how do you work towards a kind of tipping point where you see all your efforts arranging everything to start up a venture, and then you are at the point where you get a kind of snowball and end up with 500,000 and maybe later 10 million rickshaws? Can you tell us something about it?
If I could understand, your question is about financing these rickshaws. If you could repeat it.
Yes. Basically, let's say you have the idea to do this, and then you informed us, or you told that you arranged finance for the first rickshaws. So at a certain point, you will come to I just call it tipping point, where you just leverage on what you have arranged, and then you come to 500,000 rickshaws, and it will grow until 10 million as your visions are.
Oh, great. So, see, the whole idea is all about replicating this SOPs. I mean, definitely, I mean, as I mentioned, that there is a huge market, and in India, this market is growing at the rate of 10%, which is not at all bad. And it's not about only rickshaw. The theme is, the basic idea is about offering them social values and, leveraging the whole synergy. So it could be, I mean, we have cases where a rickshaw driver has been upgraded for motorized rickshaw, even for taxis. So there is nothing as such that there is a market saturation or tipping point that this much and then we won't be able to move it. I mean, we are quite open to replicate the whole idea with any other transport medium or even any other sector. Because the opportunity which lies here is, one, that huge network of people. Second is that they have been never tapped for any kind of services. So today we are dealing with rickshaws. Tomorrow it could be anything else. It could be any unorganized laborers. So this is what the whole idea is.